One of the things that scholars of ancient texts do is they ask themselves the question as to whether a text really does belong to the author to whom it is attributed. It's a question that is raised about some writings of Plato and Aristotle, for instance. It's also a question that has been raised about some of the letters of St. Paul, in particular the letter to the Hebrews, which a number of scholars in the past and today think is not by St. Paul because it's not in the style of St. Paul. What do they mean when they say it's not in the style of St. Paul? They mean it's not in the style of other letters that St. Paul wrote and that we accept he wrote. So we say this is not the same style, cannot therefore be by the same person. And the same argument is used, as I say, for writings by other ancient authors like Aristotle or Plato. However, there's a problem with this argument. How do we know that the letter to the Hebrews is not in St. Paul's style? All we can say is it's not in the style of other letters. But if St. Paul did write St. Hebrews, it is in his style, clearly, because he wrote it. So to know that Hebrews is not Paul's style, we need to know that he did not write Hebrews. So we need to know that he did not write Hebrews in order to prove from the style that he did not write Hebrews, which is plainly a fallacious way of arguing. The point I'm trying to make is that we can never make decisive decisions about who wrote a particular piece of writing on the basis of the style, because we would first need to know that the work was not written by that person to know that it was not his style. We all know, of course, that people can write in more than one style, so there's no reason to suppose that ancient authors couldn't write in two styles either. If we want to be sure, or if we want to have any evidence that we can rely upon that a certain author wrote a certain piece of writing, we have to go by extrinsic or external evidence from people at the time or close to the time, or recording traditions from the time as to who wrote what. And in the case of the Epistle to the Hebrews, the ancient evidence points to St. Paul as the author. The style doesn't matter. The ancient evidence, the external evidence, is what counts. St. Paul wrote the Epistle to the Hebrews, and we have no evidence to the contrary.